I put on 24 kilograms in 3 months. I know. And then I got very nervous about food, but it was actually just living in America because everything there's sugar and processed and nothing's fresh, nothing's healthy. So when I came back, I studied graphic design and I started working in publishing. And then when MasterChef came, then I knew that was kind of the only way I could get back into the industry. And then I also realized working in a corporate environment, there really isn't a lot of healthy offerings, and there's not even a lot of nice food offerings in the corporate environment. So it's always toasted sandwiches or like steam trays filled with canned vegetables. And I saw that there was a gap that, healthy food doesn't have to be really expensive. It can be really affordable, especially if you're eliminating meat and a lot of like the high cost items and you're just using fresh vegetables itself. So I was able to make a lot of my menu items cheaper and more affordable, encouraging people to just give it a try, even if they weren't normally a healthy eater.
And what kind of dishes do you make?
So we do a lot of chopped salads. So our whole menu is based around salads and wraps. So we do lots of chopped salads. I find it's much easier to get people to eat a salad if you just chop it all up and so they can't see what the ingredients are. And then we do the same offerings in a wrap. And everything starts out pretty much almost vegan, in that we give you the option to add on meat, cheese, fish, pork, anything like that, until you can add that on.
Okay.
So your base price is always going to be, the healthiest is always going to be the cheapest, which is what we found. So some of our items, like we sell some of our salads for 25 Rand, and some of our wraps are only about 28 Rand, because they're just filled with lots of veg and it's all fresh and it's all healthy. Then you can add on the meats after that, and then it obviously gets a bit more expensive.
Yes.
But I like to think that the base vegan items that we sell are really delicious and healthy.
And so you work in a corporate environment, so you're not open to the public, or?
So we started, when I opened up my first store in 2013, we were just a small cafe and gardens, which was in a corporate area. And then a year later, we opened up our corporate cafeteria in the observatory at Get Smarter. And we ran both for 6 months. And what we ended up seeing was that the environment where we were inside the corporate, and the corporate actually subsidizes the healthier options. It encourages people to eat more healthily, more so than at the cafe. So at the cafe, we were kind of seeing that we had to sell a lot of unhealthy food to keep going.
Yes.
And so I made the decision in 2015 to pick one or the other, and we've gone for the corporate route so that we can kind of affect as much healthy change on people as we can. And then privately, I do my own chefing, where if people want healthy dinners cooked, or they want to have an event and they want to keep it really health conscious, they want to showcase their products that are healthy and show people how to use them in different ways, then I go and I experiment with the ingredients, or I experiment with the product, and I come up with some really fun and interesting recipes and meals that people probably wouldn't normally think of trying or using that type of ingredient for.
Okay. And I believe you use flowers?
Yes, so we were approached by Earthbound Organic Wines, and they wanted to launch have a media launch with a new winemaker, Heinrich, and we decided that to make it really interesting for all the staff is that we would we'll do an edible flower and wine pairing. So I took about 3 or 4 months investigating all the different types of flowers that you can eat, which is actually all flowers. You just can't eat the middle part of most flowers, but petals and stuff, pretty much most flowers you can eat. And all vegetable and herb flowers you can eat. And this I got so excited about, because then I started experimenting with the different intensities of the herb flowers. So say, for example, rocket is really nice and peppery, but then as soon as you let it go to seed and it starts flowering, it becomes very bitter, the leaves. But then if you actually eat the flowers, it has this really nice, delicate, peppery undertone to it, which is actually much nicer than the leaves itself. So we used that in the menu. I looked at the ways that you could pair different edible flowers like nasturtiums, which also has a nice pepperiness to them, and you can use the nasturtium flowers as well as the leaves. We used violets and violas, which have a little bit of a sweeter undertone, so we used those in the dessert, and we made a nice plum sauce to go with the lamb. And it actually opened up a lot of doors to seeing where you can actually push the boundaries when it comes to food. Most people don't want to eat the flowers on their plate.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay.
Is that all? Okay,
Yes.
cool.